this being our car, we have the driver, we also have the spouse and a child here. So these persons are covered by the personal accident cover, the limit. If you had taken a cover of 2 million and death has happened, we would pay 2 million. In the event of disability, that is permanent. So on average, the much you would pay per life is 3 million if you didn't have. That if by any chance you are given a fake insurance, unfortunately something happens, they have a right to sue you. Because you didn't have an insurance, you take up that responsibility of compensation. Yes.
Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you well. My name is Martin, in case you're here for the first time. Now, this is what we're insurance. In this channel, we do two things: civic education, as well as reviews on insurance, especially within the Kenyan market. Of late, we have been doing a lot of responding to some of the questions that you have had. Now, I think I have repeated this again, and I'm going to repeat it again. In case you are there, you have a question in regards to insurance. Kama maybe unataka kununua cover na haujui the details, kama uko na cover lakini haujai kuwa na haujaipata mtu mzuri atakuexplainia vizuri, so you can send those questions. We are responding to those questions in form of a detailed video, and today's video is one of those. We are responding to one of you who sent us a question in regards to personal accident cover. And I think nimecover hii kitu in the previous videos. Some of the covers that you need to have, especially for motor vehicles. Tulisema unahitaji a third party, kuna third party, that is kuna comprehensive, kuna personal accident na kuna PLL, public legal liability cover. So ni mtu aliona hiyo video akasema kindly explain more about personal accident covers and give examples of available packages in the market. So leo we are privileged to have an expert in insurance. Na nilisemaga mimi sio alpha and omega kwa mambo ya insurance, so I will keep bringing people who have understanding in areas that I'm not very good. So in today's video we have a guest, and I'm sure he's not a very new guest in this channel. So I'm going to give him 5 seconds anyway to introduce himself, and then atupeleke pole pole kuhusu personal accident cover. So if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so that every time we upload such a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. So thank you very much. Let's get into the video.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Martin. Again, I welcome you all to this wonderful channel where we discuss matters to do with the insurance. As Martin has slightly mentioned, we basically have 3 types of insurance that touches on motor. The first is personal accident cover, which is also referred to as first party cover. That is the personal accident cover. Number 2, we also have second party cover or comprehensive insurance cover. And finally, we have the third party motor that covers now the passengers and pedestrians. So today we want to cover this. There's someone who pushed a question requesting us to explain more about personal accident cover, and give examples of available packages in the market. So the first thing you must understand is that if this is our car here, this being our car, we have the driver, we also have the spouse and a child here. So these persons are covered by the personal accident cover. The motor is covered by what we call comprehensive cover, and we have now this guy who is walking outside, he's covered by the third party cover. So personal accident cover is very, very important, and it protects this first family from the following things. Number 1 is in the event of accidental death, we know what would happen if the breadwinner dies, It also covers what we call a disability, permanent. It covers temporary disability. It also covers something we call wheelchair, covers last expense, and also covers what we call medical expenses. Medical expenses. So what you'll find is this, that in any one event of an accident, these are the likely eventuality that can happen, and in the event of death, and this is our breadwinner, the much we would pay will depend on two things. One, the limit of coverage. Yes, the limit of coverage. And number two, the affordability. So we have a cover ranging from 250,000, 250, 500, 1 million, 2 million, up to 10 million as the maximum cover. So in the event of death, and we want to take a very simple case or scenario where our driver has taken a $500,000 package. In the event of death, the much that the insurance would pay is $500,000. In the event of disability, we would also pay $500,000. In the event of temporary disability, that means that you have possibly twisted your hand, you've broken your leg, the much you get is 5,000. Yeah, and the good thing about the personal accident doesn't mean that it only covers you when you are on the road or when you have the motor. Even when you are at home, because you could be having a bath, unfortunately you slide. So we would also consider that as accident. And to define what an accident is, we would say that anything that comes from outside and causes a heavy impact on our body, yeah, that one may stop you from working. And what we know is this: in the event of accident and you are the breadwinner, the family doesn't really care whether you are in the hospital or you are not. So if it is food, they will have to eat. If it is school fees, they will have to incur that cost. So that is the main purpose of personal accident cover, meaning that in the event something happens and you're not able to go to work, an insurance company would come in handy during that difficult moment. So back to our plan of $500,000. The much we would pay, as I've said, just to do a recap, is $500,000 in the event of accidental death. In the event of disability that is permanent, we would also pay $500,000. 5,000 in the event of a temporary disability, wheelchair of maximum 10,000. Yeah, last expense during the burial. In the event of death, apart from the $500,000, we would pay 70,000 to the family to take care of the burial. And finally is what we call medical expenses. We also take care of 70,000. All these benefits, you pay a one-off fee annually of 1,772 shillings. Only. This is annually. So you pay now, we shall meet next year, same time.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe there's a person who would love to have like a bigger limit. Are there options that gives you like a higher limit in case of an accident? Maybe I want a bigger compensation or coverage.
Yes. So what we do is this: just like a medical cover, yeah, you choose depending with your ability.
Mm-hmm.
If you find your value, maybe you could say my value, if I died today, is 10M. Yeah. There's someone else who may say, well, my value today is 5 million. So it is not up to the insurance to determine this. It is the person, or yes, that person who really wants to take up the cover. It's actually you who decides what is your worth.
Okay.
So if it's 10 million, you can. It has its own premium. 10 million, it's around 25,000 per year, which still is very small amount. For 5 million, it's 13,500. We have 3 million, which is around 8,000 per year. We have 2 million, which is around 5,000, and we have 1 million, which is around 35.95. That is annually. So, and even if you split this money per year, yeah, this is your value, 10 million. Yeah. So if you divide 25,000 by 12, it's like 2,000 per month, which is a very small amount compared to what your family would be left with in the event you are no longer there. And one of the reasons why we actually work as a man is to make sure that the children would not really suffer in the event of our death. Because you are born, so the only other way out of this place is death. So, and death can come in two ways, either naturally or accidentally.
Yes.
If it happens naturally and you have a medical cover, that one would take care of you. But if it happens through accidental ways, you have this personal accident cover to take care of your family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a sample of this is an example of a package or a personal accident. Are there different options, or do they vary from one company to the other?
No. What you'll find is majority of these companies or insurance companies, they have a body called IRA, which approves these rates. So it may not be very, very different. Actually, what you'll find is that a company A and B and C, they will most likely have the same rates, because of what we call fair competition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe to do a recap, we said you need to combine when you're taking, maybe I have a car.
Yes.
I need to combine these policies to make sure that I'm fully covered. Now, give me from a point of someone who has not bought insurance before. This is my first car.
Yes.
So I want to buy a cover for my car.
Yes.
I want to buy a personal accident. I want to buy a PLL. Give me that breakdown.
Okay.
Yes.
So what we are saying here is this. The first thing is to understand why you need this and for what purpose. And just to go back a little, what we can say is this. Anybody, this is our guy A here. Yeah? This guy has bought his first car, first time. Yeah? So the very first thing is you should, because the car you have bought here, of course it had an insurance with another person. So the very first thing is to cancel the insurance you had. That is the very first thing. Because in the event of a claim, the person who would pay or who would be paid is the previous owner. In insurance, there is what we call a principle of indemnity, meaning that what you are being indemnified, or what insurance does, is to take you back to where you were before the accident.
That is financially.
Yes, financially. So the owner of the car is the owner of the insurance. If the car gets an accident, what insurance does is it wants to take
The owner of the car back
to where he was.
Yes.
So this guy buys first car, first time, so he cancels this insurance.
That is assuming it's a second hand.
Yes. So, and he buys two things. One, a motor insurance, either comprehensive to take care of the car, and what we call a personal accident cover. That is the very first thing, the very first step you should consider taking. So this comprehensive insurance covers just two things. It covers the car, and it covers injuries, injuries to that party,
or damage to a property
good
that belongs to that party.
Yes. The only person who is not covered under comprehensive is this guy,
the owner
of the car, or the driver. Yeah, that is the driver
and the family,
the
members.
wife and the children. They are not covered, or let me call it spouse, because the owner could also be a lady. So comprehensive does not cover the personal accident cover, or doesn't really cover the owner. So then personal accident cover, that one covers now the driver. Yeah, you could take a personal accident for you, your spouse, and your child. Yeah, so let me do a breakdown here and you see. So we have a cover limit of, let me start from 500,000. Yeah, we have another one for 1M, 2 million, 3 million, and finally we have 5 and 10 million. So that is the breakdown. So what you do is this: in the event of death, the insurance company would pay amount equal to the sum assured, which is 500,000 in the event of death. 500,000. Yeah. In the event of so in each category it pays based on the limit. If you had taken a cover of 2 million and death has happened, we would pay 2 million. In the event of disability, that is permanent, and permanent means both eyes, both ears, yeah, legs, limbs. Yeah. In the event of disability, we would also pay equal amount to the limit of the cover. Then we have disability, which is temporary disability. So here we would pay 5,000 in the event of maybe you've twisted your leg or something like that. And for personal accident cover, it really doesn't only cover you when driving. Even when you are back at home, especially now that we are headed home because of festivities, yeah, it is very, very important to take up a cover for that family members. Yeah. So another thing that personal accident covers is medical expenses. Medical expenses. If it's for 500,000, it looks at this is 70,000 medical expenses. And what we do, personal accident cover doesn't really pay the hospital. What it does, does what we call reimbursement.
So you first of all pay and then you are reimbursed?
Yes, you pay to the hospital, we reimburse.
You provide the receipts?
Yes. And then we because our intention is not for you to make profit, rather it is to take you back where you were.
In fact, I was coming to that about the claim process. If you are involved in an accident and you have a personal accident cover,
yes,
what's the process? But at least you have answered. You first of all go to the hospital.
You go to the hospital,
be treated and pay.
Yes, you pay
and then
from
you
your
bring
pocket.
the receipts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, something you should understand is if you have a medical cover and you have a personal accident cover, if you happen to use the medical cover, you will not be paid for personal accident cover. Because that is double insurance.
Okay.
Or you make profit out of this. So for medical expense, 70,000 reimbursement maximum. Yeah, we have the last expense. This is 50,000. So before anything, before you come to claim for this 500,000, we shall first of all give out 50,000 for the burial arrangement. Yeah.
Okay.
So if the cover was 1 million, we would give you 100,000 for last expense, and this one doubles.
Okay.
Whatever you had here in 500,000 would double if you take up a cover of 1 million. So what we have said is a cover of 500,000 annually you pay 1,772 shillings.
2 shillings.
For 1 million you would pay 35.95 whole year, and the benefit doubles. In the event of if you had taken a plan of 2 million, this is 5,000. For 3 million, we would charge you 8,000. For 5 million, 13,000, and the maximum 10 million, you would pay 25,000.
25,000.
Yes.
Okay. So that way, you with a comprehensive and a combination of a personal accident, you are good to go.
You are good to go. Now you don't.
And now, there's something else we had mentioned in our previous video about public legal liability.
Yes.
What about that? How do you combine, or when at which point do you need a PLL?
So when you need a PLL is this, when you are you have a matatu or public service vehicle is when you require a PLL.
Only when you want to work as a public, to convert your car to public,
as a PSV.
As a PSV.
Yes.
It's the only time you can use a PLL.
That is when because basically the purpose of PLL is to indemnify you in the event your car gets an accident and the passengers die. So on average, yes. So on average, the much you would pay per life is 3 million if you didn't have.
Okay, so let me. It's good to highlight that very well.
Yes.
So you said if I don't have a PLL, in case a passenger dies,
You
I'm
pay 3
supposed to
million.
pay 3 million.
Yes, 3 million.
So the cover is supposed to cover me against that damage.
Yes, that PLL, its purpose is to cover for the liabilities that that may be fronted by the passengers themselves.
What about the comprehensive? And we have said the comprehensive covers the third party as well.
Yeah. So it will depend, because we have law that governs our insurance industry. So for those, all the cars, including taxis, including Uber, including let's call them matatus and buses.
The PSVs.
Yeah, as long as you are operating a PSV, what you take, because it's a different insurance, the PLL, you pay around 500 for each person per, yes, let me call it per year, or depending with the arrangement with an insurance. There are those who takes up an insurance on monthly basis, especially for matatus. And we have the Ubers, those one takes annually. So per head, you are charged 500 shillings, 500 shillings to take care of the legal liabilities that may arise out of your passenger dying.
Okay.
So if you don't have that, you would pay for each life lost 3M. And that is why you find that if by any chance you are given a fake insurance, unfortunately something happens, they have a right to sue you. Because you didn't have an insurance, you take up that responsibility of compensation. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. I hope you have had all the, most of your questions, if not all, answered. That is for those people who really wanted to know about personal accident cover. Maybe the final question is, what are the consequences of not having an insurance in general? Because there are those people, either because mtu aliuziwa sticker yenye haina sio valid, because we have found that case once. What are the consequences?
So if you don't have an insurance, so forget about the police. Something may happen. For example, you could be having a car, you don't have an insurance. Let me quote it. You could be thinking you have an insurance, yet the sticker is doctored. Unfortunately, something happens. You either damage someone else's property, or you cause a loss of life. If you didn't have an insurance, because it will have to be verified by the insurance company when we are claiming. If you don't have an insurance policy, especially for the motor, you take up the responsibility 100%.
Whether it's legal or financial.
Yes, hapo hakuna kujitetea. Wewe ndio utasukumana na
tumesema per life is 3 million.
Per life is average 3 million. So you would you can do your calculation. Assuming you had 11 passengers. Yeah.
So that is something that can take you to jail.
For life. We've seen a lot of people suffer because of possibly a small ignorance or maybe negligence. Yeye hakuna kuverify na verify insurance. Yeye anaambiwa mimi naweza kutolea insurance na 3000. Anasema nitolee. But after,
so hiyo inakuwa baada ya kutolea askari.
Hiyo ni askari, but the most important thing is always when you get an insurance sticker, verify through what you call an Aki app. It can help you to verify the genuinity of that insurance policy.
Wow. Wow. So thank you very much for taking us through the policy. I think it's important because some people don't have information about personal accident cover. They think that when you have a comprehensive cover, you are good to go. But you have confirmed that the only cover, what is covered in the comprehensive is the vehicle and third party.
Yes.
So there's no way the driver is covered. So I think it's good to have that information out so that people can buy insurance from a point of understanding. And also musiraumu nini kampuni ati insurance ni wezi ama nini because you didn't have information. Useme si kulipwa kwa sababu na niko na insurance. Hapana, uko na insurance lakini hiyo insurance has specifics in terms of its coverage.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for answering that question, and maybe you can conclude the video and be subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
What I can urge you is that every day is a learning day. So you learn a lot. Leo umeshika kitu kidogo ya personal accident cover and how cheap it is. Actually, among all the insurance policies,
Yes.
the most affordable cover is insurance yako wewe binafsi. The one we are calling a personal accident cover. And
Yes.
I must say this, that you don't really need to have a car
Yes.
to own a personal accident cover.
Yes. So thank you very much for watching this video to the end. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation and I hope you are learning. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment and a question as well, and share with a friend. And until we see you in the next one, God bless you and bye bye.